Listen up. No one is coming to save you. No one cares about your excuses. You're sitting there drowning in self-pity, waiting for life to get better. Guess what? It won't. Not until you decide to change. You think life is unfair? Yeah, it is. You think you've had it harder than others? Maybe. But do you think the world gives a damn? It doesn't. The only thing that matters is what you do about it. Every second you waste complaining, someone else is out there grinding, making moves, getting stronger, getting richer. And what are you doing? Scrolling through your phone, feeling sorry for yourself? Pathetic. Pain is inevitable. Struggle is part of life. But suffering, that's a choice. You can sit there and cry about how tough things are, or you can stand up and fight. Winners don't have time to complain. They adapt, they push forward, they dominate. You want respect? Earn it. You want success? Work for it. You want to be someone? Stop whining and start winning. It's that simple. Wake up, get up, and stop feeling sorry for yourself. No one cares about your excuses. That's the cold, hard truth. You can sit there and list every reason why life is unfair, why things didn't go your way, and why you're stuck in the same place, but the reality is no one is listening. And even if they are, they don't care. People are too busy dealing with their own struggles to waste time feeling sorry for you. The only thing that matters is what you do about it. The world operates on results, not excuses. If you're broke, you can blame the economy, your upbringing, or bad luck. But guess what? There are people who came from nothing and made it anyway. If you're out of shape, you can talk about how busy you are or how bad your genetics are. But there are people with worse circumstances who still put in the work and got fit. If you're lonely, you can cry about how people don't understand you. But there are individuals who have been through real pain and still built strong relationships. Excuses are just stories you tell yourself to feel better about staying the same. Success doesn't care about your feelings. If you don't show up and put in the work, you don't get the rewards. That's how life works. No one gets a free pass just because they had a rough childhood, faced setbacks, or got dealt a bad hand. The only thing that matters is whether you're going to let that define you or if you're going to rise above it. Some of the most successful people in history went through unimaginable hardships, yet they pushed through. They didn't let their struggles become their identity. They used them as fuel to go harder. People respect results, not sob stories. If you're always making excuses, people will tune you out. They won't take you seriously. They'll see you as weak, as someone who lacks the discipline and drive to make something happen. But if you show up and put in the effort every single day, even when things are tough, that's when people start paying attention. That's when you gain respect. You need to stop looking for sympathy. No one is coming to hold your hand and walk you to success. If you want something, you have to go and get it. Life is a competition. It rewards those who grind, who stay focused, who refuse to quit, no matter what obstacles they face. The moment you start making excuses, you're already losing. Weak people blame external factors for their failures. Strong people take responsibility. If you're not where you want to be, it's your fault. Accept that. Own it. Because the moment you take full responsibility for your life, that's the moment you gain power. As long as you blame something or someone else, you're giving away control. You're telling yourself that your life is dictated by things outside of you. And that's the biggest lie you can believe. You either find a way or you find an excuse. The choice is yours. There's always a way to improve, always a way to level up. The question is whether you're willing to do what it takes. Winners figure it out. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They analyze the situation, find solutions, and take action. That's why they win. The world is ruthless. It doesn't care about your struggles. It only recognizes strength. The ones who push through adversity, who refuse to quit, who take responsibility for their outcomes, those are the ones who make it. If you want to be one of them, you need to stop justifying failure with excuses and start justifying success with action. Life is unfair. That's just how it is. The sooner you accept that, the faster you can move forward. Sitting around complaining about how things aren't equal, how others have it easier, or how you were dealt a bad hand is a complete waste of time. It changes nothing. No one is going to come and make things fair for you. No one is going to level the playing field. Life doesn't work that way. Some people are born rich. Some people are born poor. Some have great genetics. Some don't. Some grow up in supportive environments. Others face nothing but obstacles from day one. That's reality. Crying about it doesn't fix it. Complaining doesn't change it. All it does is keep you weak and stuck in the same place. You can spend your life wishing things were fair, or you can play the hand you were dealt and find a way to win anyway. That's what separates winners from losers. Losers sit around talking about how things should be different, how they deserve more, how the system is against them. Winners don't care about what's fair, they care about what's possible. They take what they have, no matter how little, and turn it into something more. They don't waste energy on things they can't control. They focus on what they can control: their work ethic, their discipline, their mindset, their actions. The truth is, life is never going to be fair, but it will always reward those who refuse to make excuses. The most successful people in the world didn't start on an even playing field. Some of them came from absolute rock bottom, from nothing, from situations most people wouldn't survive. But they didn't sit around waiting for the world to hand them a break. They created their own opportunities. They didn't ask for fairness. They demanded success through relentless action. They made sacrifices. They worked harder. They stayed focused while others got distracted. That's why they made it. If you're looking for fairness, you're already losing. There will always be people with advantages you don't have. There will always be obstacles in your way that others never had to face. That's just how it is. But sitting there resenting others for their advantages does nothing for you. It doesn't make you stronger. It doesn't push you forward. It just fills you with bitterness and keeps you stuck. Winners don't waste time being bitter. They get to work. They find ways to turn disadvantages into strengths. They find ways to win anyway. You have two choices. You can sit around wishing the world was fair, wasting years of your life in self-pity, or you can accept the reality that things aren't fair and do what needs to be done anyway. The second you stop expecting life to be fair is the second you become dangerous, because now nothing can stop you. Now, you're not waiting for the perfect circumstances. Now, you're taking action despite the odds. That's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Fairness is a lie. There will always be people who start ahead of you. There will always be people who get things easier than you, but there will also always be people who had it worse than you and still made it. The difference? They accepted reality and refused to make excuses. They decided that no matter how unfair life was, they were going to find a way to win. And that's exactly what you need to do. Life will never be fair, but if you work hard enough, stay disciplined enough, and refuse to quit, you can still come out on top. Time spent complaining is time wasted. Every second you sit around whining about your problems is a second you could be using to fix them, but instead you're choosing to waste it, to throw it away like it doesn't matter. And that's exactly why you're stuck. That's exactly why nothing is changing. Because rather than taking action, rather than putting in the work, you'd rather sit there and talk about how unfair life is, how hard things are, how nothing ever goes your way. But guess what? No one cares. And even if they did, their sympathy won't change your situation. The only thing that will change it is you. Look at where you are right now. Every complaint you've ever made, every excuse you've ever told yourself, every time you've wasted energy feeling sorry for yourself, what has it done for you? Has it made you richer? Has it made you stronger? Has it brought you success? Number, it's only kept you exactly where you are, maybe even dragged you further down. The reality is, while you were busy complaining, someone else was out there putting in the work. Someone else was grinding. Someone else was using that same time to get ahead, to improve, to build something for themselves. And now they're winning while you're still stuck in the same place. The world doesn't stop for you. It doesn't pause just because you're struggling. It keeps moving. And the people who understand that are the ones who get ahead. Every minute you waste is a minute you'll never get back. You could be using that time to get stronger, to make money, to learn new skills, to push forward. But instead, you're wasting it on negativity, on self-pity, on useless complaints that do absolutely nothing for you. And the worst part, you know it. Deep down, you know that complaining is pointless. You know that it doesn't change anything. Yet you still do it because it's easier than actually taking responsibility and doing the work. But here's the truth. Complaining is a sign of weakness. It's what losers do. Winners don't waste time talking about their problems, they solve them. If they're broke, they work harder. If they're out of shape, they train harder. If they fail, they learn from it and move on. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves because they know that every second spent complaining is a second that could be spent improving. That's why they win. That's why they succeed. Because they take every moment seriously. They don't waste time. They use it. You need to understand that time is the most valuable resource you have. More valuable than money, more valuable than connections, more valuable than anything. Because once it's gone, you can't get it back. And every moment you spend whining is a moment you've thrown away forever. Winners treat their time like gold. They don't waste it on nonsense. They don't waste it on things that don't move them forward. Every second is an opportunity to grow, to build, to get better. And that's exactly why they're ahead. If you want to change your life, the first thing you need to do is stop complaining. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Because every complaint is a distraction. Every excuse is a step backward. And every second spent on negativity is a second you'll regret later when you realize how much time you wasted. If you're serious about success, if you're serious about getting ahead, then you need to make a decision, stop complaining, and start working. That's the only way forward. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Every single person on this planet will face hardship, struggle, and pain at some point. There's no escaping it. Life is designed to test you, to challenge you, to throw obstacles in your way. But what separates the weak from the strong is how they respond to that pain. Weak people let it consume them. They break down, they complain, they dwell on their misfortunes and use them as an excuse to stay where they are. Strong people take that same pain and turn it into fuel. They refuse to be victims. They refuse to let pain define them. Instead, they let it make them stronger. You can't avoid pain, but you can control how you react to it. You can either use it as an excuse to quit or as a reason to push harder. The difference between winners and losers isn't that winners have it easier. In fact, many of the most successful people in the world went through more pain than the average person can imagine. The difference is that they didn't allow their struggles to turn into suffering. They endured, they adapted, and they kept moving forward no matter how difficult things got. Suffering is when you let pain control you. It's when you sit in your misery, replaying the same negative thoughts over and over. It's when you allow yourself to feel hopeless, to believe that things will never get better, to act as if you're powerless. But the truth is, you are never powerless. You always have a choice. Pain might not be optional, but suffering is something you create in your own mind. It's self-inflicted. It's the result of weakness, of refusing to take control, of letting life beat you instead of fighting back. Every setback, every failure, every hardship is an opportunity. You can either see it as proof that life is unfair and spiral into self-pity, or you can see it as a lesson, a test, a challenge to overcome. The strongest people are the ones who have been through the most, not because they were lucky, but because they chose to rise every time they were knocked down. They took the pain and turned it into power. If you're in pain right now, that's not a sign to stop. That's not a reason to feel sorry for yourself. It's proof that you're growing. It's proof that you're being tested. The weak give up when things get hard. The strong push through. And the moment you realize that pain is part of the process, that it's something you can use rather than something you should fear, everything changes. You stop running from discomfort and you start embracing it. Because the truth is, everything you want, success, strength, respect, it's all on the other side of pain. Pain is a fact of life, but suffering is a choice. The only difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that the successful refuse to let their pain turn into an excuse. They refuse to sit in their misery. They refuse to waste time feeling sorry for themselves. They feel the pain, but they keep going. They take control of their minds, their emotions, and their actions. And that's why they win. Winners adapt, losers complain. That's the brutal reality of life. The world doesn't care about your problems, your struggles, or how unfair things have been for you. It only cares about results. And the people who get results are the ones who adapt, who figure things out, who refuse to let obstacles stop them. The losers, they sit around making excuses. They blame everything except themselves. They waste time whining about how things didn't go their way instead of finding solutions. That's why they stay stuck. That's why they never win. Because instead of adapting, they choose to complain. Life is constantly changing. Things won't always go as planned. You will face setbacks, failures, and unexpected challenges. That's guaranteed. But what separates the strong from the weak is how they react. When winners hit a roadblock, they adjust. They don't freeze. They don't break down. They don't waste time crying about how unfair it is. They figure out the next move and keep going. They're flexible, adaptable, and always thinking forward. Losers, on the other hand, let obstacles stop them completely. The moment something gets difficult, they start complaining. They start looking for someone to blame. They waste time feeling sorry for themselves instead of focusing on what they can do next. Excuses are easy. Complaining is easy. But neither of those things will ever move you forward. If you want to win, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. If one plan doesn't work, you find another. If one door closes, you break down another. If a situation changes, you change with it. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who had a perfect path with no obstacles. They're the ones who adapted when things got hard. They're the ones who stayed focused, stayed disciplined, and refused to let setbacks stop them. The world doesn't owe you anything. It's not going to make things easier for you just because you had a tough time. No one is going to hand you success on a silver platter. You either step up and figure it out or you get left behind. Winners don't expect things to be perfect. They don't sit around waiting for the right moment. They take what they have and make it work. They learn from failures. They improve. They get better. And that's why they get ahead. Losers, on the other hand, use every little inconvenience as an excuse to quit. Your mindset determines everything. If you approach life like a victim, always looking for reasons why things won't work, always blaming external factors, always waiting for circumstances to change before you take action, you will never win. Winners don't think like that. They understand that life isn't about what happens to you, but how you respond. They take responsibility. They take control. They focus on solutions, not problems. They don't waste time complaining because they know that time is valuable, and every second spent whining is a second that could be used to get ahead. If you want to be successful, stop making excuses and start adapting. Stop looking for reasons why things won't work and start finding ways to make them work. Stop complaining about what you can't control and start focusing on what you can. The people who make it to the top aren't the ones who had it the easiest. They're the ones who refused to give up, who adjusted when necessary, and who kept pushing forward no matter what. Winners adapt, losers complain. And at the end of the day, you have to decide which one you're going to be. No one is coming to save you. That's the truth most people don't want to hear, but it's the truth that will set you free. If you're waiting for someone to come and fix your life, you'll be waiting forever. No one is going to hand you success. No one is going to pull you out of the mess you're in. No one is going to feel bad enough for you that they decide to take responsibility for your problems. The only person who can change your life is you. The moment you understand that, everything shifts. Because now you're not looking for a savior, you're looking for solutions. You're not waiting, you're taking action. Weak people sit around hoping that someday something will magically change. They think maybe the right opportunity will just appear. Maybe someone will finally recognize their struggles and help them. Maybe one day life will become easier on its own. But that day never comes. And deep down, they know it. They know they're wasting time, but they'd rather keep living in that illusion because it's easier than facing the truth. The truth that if they want change, they have to create it themselves. The people who succeed in life didn't wait for anyone to save them. They didn't sit around hoping for a miracle. They got up, made a plan, and executed. Even when they didn't feel like it. Even when things were stacked against them. Even when everything seemed impossible. That's the difference between winners and losers. Winners take responsibility. They know that their life is 100% in their hands. It doesn't matter what's happened in the past, who wronged them, or how unfair things have been. The only thing that matters is what they do next. Losers love to blame external factors. They say things like, I could be successful, but I wasn't given the right opportunities. I could be in great shape, but my genetics aren't good. I could be rich, but the economy is bad. They have an excuse for everything. But at the end of the day, those excuses mean nothing. Because while they're making excuses, someone else is out there winning despite facing even bigger challenges. While they're blaming the world, someone else is taking control and making things happen. You have to decide right now that you're done waiting, done hoping, done expecting someone to come along and fix things for you. Because no one is coming. And that's not a bad thing, that's a blessing. Because it means you don't have to rely on anyone else. You don't have to wait for permission. You don't have to depend on luck. You are in control. You can make the decision today to start doing whatever it takes to improve your life. You can choose to stop wasting time, to stop complaining, to stop looking for help, and start helping yourself. The second you stop looking for someone to save you is the second you become unstoppable, because now nothing can hold you back. You don't need favors. You don't need luck. You don't need a perfect situation. You just need discipline, work ethic, and a relentless mindset. The world rewards those who take control. It rewards those who refuse to quit. It rewards those who understand that success isn't given, it's taken. The only question is, are you going to take it? At the end of the day, your life is in your hands. No amount of complaining, excuses, or self-pity will change your situation. The only thing that will make a difference is action. Life isn't fair, but that doesn't matter. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. You can either adapt and push forward, or you can waste time feeling sorry for yourself while others pass you by. Winners don't wait for someone to save them. They take full responsibility and do whatever it takes to succeed. Stop looking for an easy way out. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions and start moving forward. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. Be that person. Take control, put in the work, and go after what you want because no one else is going to do it for you.